Skyze, Denise, Zakaze. Ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests, my name is Marlene Hale, and I am from the Wet'suwet'en Nation. Let's give it for the Wet'suwet'en Nation. Right now, before we begin, I would like to take the time and a moment to give my full sorrows and the video today for the people in British Columbia, for the people that are hurting. And it is just the most horrible timing that we are doing the missing, murdered, and Indigenous walk, the march. Whereas in Vancouver today, I spoke with some of the matriarchs, the leaders that are delivering over 5,000 people in that march today. They are strong since 1992 when this began. It all happened, if you didn't know, when a woman in Vancouver, who is in the Powell Street area, she was left mangled, left to die. And ever since then, missing and murdered women, Indigenous women, was born. Where I come from in the Wet'suwet'en Nation, we deliver the talk, the walk, the march for our sisters, which are stolen all the way, what we call the Highway of Tears, which stems all the way from Prince George, Vanderhoof, Burns Lake, Smithers, Houston, BC, Terrace, and it ends in Prince Rupert. That is the highway that has been so ostracized by the pipelines. And many things that we know, the RCMP have been involved in the missing, and the truck drivers, the pipelines, and it is still ongoing today. Today in Tumbler Ridge, I would like to take the moment for the people in the small town of 2,000 and somewhat 400 people, for the tragedy that has struck upon them, for all the youth, the families, the teachers, and all the defenders that have been there from the mayor up, who have stood for their people at a hard time like this when 9 young people have perished. I have got family in all those areas, from Tumbler Ridge all the way to all the little small towns that gathered, all the way to Alberta. We know what it's like in small towns, and we know what it's like when you have somebody missing, because we're so closely connected. We're connected with each other, and our children, 12 years of age, to be perished in such a way. The families have to have the time. We don't speak to anybody. We give them their time for their grief and mourning. And when it is time for them to reach out, we let them know that our arms and hearts are out towards them for whatever we can do. And it's where I spoke on a video in the last few days. It is a time for me to reopen, to talk to Prime Minister Mark Carney and letting him know that at times like this, we don't need to have answers after. We need to have justice before it happens. And that is to reopen all the open letters that I have been working on for so many years as a chef, activist, and a filmmaker on so much racism that we all feel, no matter what color we are. We are just here for our stolen sisters, no matter what color. We are here with their families, their origins, and all the 11 nations of Quebec that are who dealing the similarities. We still see on social media so many missing, and nobody just puts a like. What can we do? Where can we start? We start from our own little topics, our families and our communities. We keep them a lot closer in hard times like it is today. It is not so cold out, thankfully, for tonight. It's nice to see a really gracious crowd coming out to honor and pay homage to the women that have left us. But our spirits are still there with them. The eagles still fly high, all the way up the north. They still guide us, and we need those animals. For there's those animals that give us, the spirits are soaring. And when they do that, we have a little little bit of peace in our heart. And in the United States right now, I loved it when the 24 monks are going from one state to another, demonstrating peace. And this is what we need in our hearts today. I spread out the word of peace to each and every one of you, that we really look at ourselves in a different way. And I know that it is really hard to just let your neighbors know, your children know, the schools, that you're there for them, to put more education and into the higher ups, meaning the MLAs, starting from them, that they really got to do more than just give out a 188 number. Because so many people have reached out to me, young people, who dialed on those numbers, and they've never gotten an answer. They've knocked on doors, they made appointments to be saying that only they see somebody in another 6 to 7 months. They go to the hospital, they just give a medication to put them to sleep. No answers, nothing is given to them. It makes them feel even more of a pain than where they already are in their hearts, that nobody cares. We all have to put something in more into that, into the hospitals. We have to put a lot more pressure onto the governments, which is where my job comes in, but I need a lot more help than just a signature, because I see that signatories are getting us nowhere. We have to go above and beyond where all we are collectively. Boots on the ground works. This is why we're here. We're all tired since Cabot Square, but we came here for a reason. And we came here for something in our heart that is just hurting us. That so much of this turmoil on women is just taken too far, too long. That has got to put a stop to it. Other than saying justice, we got to demand a little bit more respect. And all of that respect comes from home. Our grandparents, our ancestors taught us better. We have to teach the young boys to respect themselves and also respect the girls. It starts at a young age, and it also goes on to the matriarchs. It goes on to the ages of aging, and also to them where you're always looking at your aunties. And when they say something, you listen to them. Listen with an open heart. Don't listen with any anger in your heart, because well, it'll make you feel worse. And to go close to somebody who has been raped, help them get to the right places, and finding exactly where they can find sanctity, a place to be solace. You make sure that they've gone to see an elder. Elders are the one people that we all, elders and youth go together. They go together in harmony where they listen to each other. And I want us to say that I really appreciate the organizers for putting this on year after year, hoping that in Montreal, jogging, that it becomes bigger and more voices are heard, and there'll be less red dresses out there, down to nothing. Besides, thank you so much for listening, and anybody else who wants to come and have a talk. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, relatives. Ninda Luis and Corey, Redebexi, Listagush. So my name is Corey. I come from the community of Listagush, Quebec. I just want to offer a really nice prayer. So I will ask Creator to help all our missing and murdered Indigenous women who have maybe lost out there on these highways in this world, and that, Creator help them find their way home to spirit world. Especially all the ones who don't have family to ceremony them all that way. Let today's prayer, let today's march be that ceremony that guides them home and brings them back to Creator, their ancestors, their relatives. And may all the families affected grieve in a good way, hopefully through ceremony, and continue life. Always remembering and honoring those ones who have passed and who are lost. So I give thanks to Creator, give thanks to our elders, give thanks to our medicines, give thanks to our children, our youth, everybody here who came out to support that prayer. I ask if anyone has a little bit of time in their life, pick up some tobacco, think about those women and then offer that tobacco to Mother Earth or sacred fire. So I'll end my prayer like that. Say, Umset no gama dahamu jich dahu.
And he's going to say a closing prayer.
Hujan na merakapi, ilon nalo si tamani ito si asiyo majuapi, ino hatiapi buhu, isu magidlugi, amalo ino aktaw si majon. Hujan siya kung pisubong nakatakat si tamang naligusukat si. Naligusukat ta ilon na ta. Hujan na jibunga. Amalo angin kat siya kung nanangajum galwakto si ilon na si. Ipigiyutit siya katakit si. Kujali bunga, amalat tamo agalago magubitsi abang palaw galaw kajong na kajok tali, nirine ako si nakokme.
Nakarumekani, and thank you everybody who gathered here today. Let's all carry this momentum forward and demand action. Demand action on the 231 calls to justice. Reach out to your neighbors, reach out to your friends. Let's start the change from here, let it grow from here, and by the time we gather again on May 5th, let it be a bigger movement every day. Thank you. Nakarumik.